Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Quack&Co, where every video is 10 minutes or less, guaranteed, or double your money back. I am your handsome host, West, here to explain to you on this Just a Tip Tuesday, where we give you all the advice you need, but only the tips, because that's what we do on Tuesdays. Today, we're going to talk to you about playing games with your children. Now, I don't mean head games or any of that kind of stuff. I mean actual board games with your kids. I know what you're thinking. Wes, they play on an iPad all day, or they're on their phones, or why would they ever want to play a dumb board game with me? Well, I mean, that's a problem. That definitely can happen. It happens in my house as well. I'm literally a board game person. I play board games for a living, and my kids want to play Minecraft just as much as I do, or Roblox. Roblox. Why is Roblox even a thing? Like, I don't understand. It just has extra pieces on top of Minecraft. Minecraft is so much better. Anyway, that's a whole nother tangent. We'll talk about that later. What we're going to talk about today is how can you play board games with your children? How can you get them interested in playing board games with you? The first thing that we're going to talk about in getting your children to play more board games with you is the choice of games. So find out some things that your children like. What are the cartoons they watch? What are the things that they do? Now, you might have younger kids, which are, 5 to 8 years old maybe. Find out the things that they're interested in and literally look for any game that has that theme. Now, I know what you're saying. Those games probably suck. I mean, they probably do. But it's way better than Chutes and Ladders. Trust me, I know. I've played that game so many times. I'm very sick of it. So my goal when I have had a child, my youngest kid, Caden, he loves playing board games with me, and we used to play Chutes and Ladders all the time. And I will tell you, that game, whoa, whew, man, it was great 50 years ago. There's so many better board games out there than Chutes and Ladders. I promise you. Literally anything out there is better than Chutes and Ladders. So I went and looked for games that were interesting to him, like things that he felt were more fun, different types of games like dexterity games, and we played. He loved Scooby-Doo, so we found some Scooby-Doo games that he thought were much more interesting. And literally any game with a different theme, I don't even care if it's Chutes and Ladders with a different theme. In theory, it's going to be better than just base old Chutes and Ladders, okay? Try and find something with an interesting theme that your kids will enjoy and just play that. What this does is it introduces them to new mechanisms and things that they can play. And really, I think that's key. If you're introducing new concepts and new systems, hey, we're going to be moving around a board and we're going to be playing cards. That's something different than your base Chutes and Ladders. Even if with Monopoly, you're moving Monopoly around the board, okay, great, you're buying things. That's a new system. Anything you can do to just teach them a new thing about board games so they don't think that all board games are roll dice and move pawns. I think that's really important. That's probably number 1.5 or whatever. Now, the second thing that you're going to do is once you've found a theme that your kids are interested in, you're going to try and enjoy that game as much as possible. Now, I know what you're thinking, but West, these games suck. Yeah, they do. They probably are horrible. But you know what? It's better than the other base games you've been playing. If you show that you're having fun with your kids and just getting a chance to spend time with them is fun, and not on your computer, not on, doing something else, which is raining outside, you just want to have an opportunity to sit down with your kids and play a fun game, even if it's not necessarily as much fun for you, but your children are having a good time, that's key. Keep them interested. Keep them having fun. Make conversation about what's going on. And if they do something mean to you, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you just did that to me. You're terrible. And then they'll be like, ha 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 ha, that's so funny. If you can get them laughing, if you can keep them enjoying the game that you're playing, then they're going to want to play more board games with you. That is thing number 2. Keep them entertained. Then in thing number 3, the game that you've been playing has introduced a new mechanism. Go out and search a game that has a similar mechanism, but is a little bit more complicated. Maybe has some more fun things going on around it, and then teach that to them. Be excited about it. But the key is you have to have known that game. You have to learn that game before you teach it to your children. You've got to know it inside and out so that teach takes less than 5 minutes. You've got 2 at best. Teach them quickly, let them have fun, show them the game, and play it. A great game for this, in my personal opinion, is King of Tokyo. You cannot tell me that rolling dice and beating people up, making combinations based around the dice is not entertaining, especially for a younger kid. You can then add the complexity of a lot of the expansions that'll add additional cards and things that are more interesting to the game and make it more fun and playable for you. Plus, there's superpowers that people can purchase along the way. It is a fantastic game for the majority of kids who really want to try to spend time with you but just don't know how in the board game space. Highly recommend the King of Tokyo for that reason. Now, once you've got that going, you've already started introducing them to a new world of board games. Keep doing it. Don't stop. Make it a board game night. Schedule it out once a month. We're going to have a board game night and we're going to have a really good time. Don't let them come to you and ask you to play board games. Make it happen for them. Schedule a specific night. We're all just going to sit down and play a board game together. But make sure it's a really fun game that you know that you could teach quickly. Scheduling time to play with your children, especially in the board game hobby, is the key to playing more board games with your family, bringing up more board gamers so that the community grows and continues to be a vital place for all of us. The last thing that I'm going to explain here is teenagers. I know what you're saying. I can't even get them to put their phone down and look at me and just acknowledge my existence when I walk into a room. How exactly am I going to get them to play a board game with me? Let me tell you a story. My daughter, her name's Kaylin, she's a beautiful young lady, and she is not a board gamer. At least she wasn't. We got Everdell, the new Everdell that came in, the My Little Everdell. Now, granted, I've never played Everdell. It's on my list to play in 2024. There's a long story about it on Quack&Co, or Quackalope, excuse me. But I have it, and I brought My Little Everdell home to play with my family. I intentionally brought it home to play with my son, who is 10 and loves board games. And I thought it would be a really entertaining game to play with him. Well, he was busy doing something else, and my daughter came downstairs, and she saw the artwork in My Little Everdell and said, "Daddy, that looks really cool." I used every ounce of power within my being not to be ridiculously excited and gush overwhelmingly and try to get her to the table instantly. I said, "Oh yeah, I agree. It's a pretty neat game. I think it looks like a lot of fun playing it." That was it. That was the thing. She said, "Oh, can I play it with you?" It was as if the heavens opened and shined down upon me in that moment. Oh, and I was like, yes, in fact, yes, you can. I would love that. That would be great. Come on over. Let's sit down and we'll play it together. Now, I didn't follow any of my rules because I never thought she'd be the one who wanted to play it. I was literally trying to learn how to play the game at the time, but I figured My Little Everdell can't be that difficult. And even though I've never played Everdell before, I don't think it's going to be that difficult, and thankfully it wasn't. So she was willing to sit there with me for 10 or 15 minutes while I read the rules. We talked out how things work. I kept her engaged, had her read some of the rules as well, and then we were able to sit down and play that game together. Now, I used every single mechanism possible to make sure that she had the most fun. So she got all the bonuses and all the extra things that you get so that you're playing literally with like little kids who are 3 or 4 years old. So she absolutely crushed me in the first game. Thought it was fantastic. That's your next tip. Let them win, okay? Let your children win. Don't be mean. But at the same time, if mechanisms are available in the game where you can play as harsh and mean as you want, but they're still probably going to win, do it. Because it's way more entertaining and way more fun for both of you. And that was what she said. She was like, "Well, are you actually playing? Are you trying?" And I'm like, yeah, in fact, I'm really trying. Thanks for telling me that I'm a terrible board gamer." She giggled, and we played 4 games in a row. 4. We literally played 4 games in a row. I mean, that's awesome. Finding an art style that helps, especially grab teenagers into the hobby, man, do it, please. We need more kids playing board games. We need families playing board games. We need people to enjoy this hobby together so that they're all experiencing this together and we're all getting that camaraderie and family values and the opportunity to spend more time together off of our devices. And I know you're probably watching this with a device, and that's okay, but please find some time to play some games with your kids. Hopefully these tips have helped you. And remember, less time watching means more time playing. Thanks for being here.